Yo, what's going on everyone, Doozy here, and welcome to another Destiny 2 video. So anyways guys, if you haven't already, I highly recommend you try out the Crimson Exotic Hand Cannon, because this thing is nice. And honestly, it's one of my favorite exotics to use now, although to be fair, in Destiny 1, hand cannons were by far my favorite weapons, and also Red Death was one of my favorite exotics, so I may be a little biased because of that, but whatever. So it recently got a buff which included refined damage, rate of fire, and recovery time between bursts, and they also increased the ammo reserves. So before the buff, I think the Crimson was 386 RPM, and it was hitting for like 21 per crit, although I can't remember exactly, so if I got that wrong, I'm sorry, just let me know what the numbers used to be. But now after the buff, it's hitting for 17 to the body and 24 per crit, and its RPM is now 415. And really quick, I'll go over a few of the stats for anyone who may be curious. So for the weapon stats, it has an impact of 92, a range of 60, and that's without the catalyst, a stability of 82, a handling of 50, and a reload speed of 64. And then as for its hidden stats, it has a aim assist of 75, a recoil direction of 55, and a zoom of 14. But then moving on to its actual perks, so we have the banned weapon for its exotic intrinsic perk, which says that the weapon fires in a 3-round burst, and then we have small bore, which increases the range and stability, then accurized rounds, which increase the range, followed by its exotic perk, which is called Cruel Remedy, and this says where kills with the weapon heal the wielder, and precision kills also refill the magazine. And lastly, it has heavy grip, which increases stability and decreases handling speed. But that was it for the stats, so moving on to its catalyst. So this is just a random drop that you get from killing enemies against humanity, or at least that's what it says. And I actually got mine to drop while I was just doing a random patrol on Mars. So basically just go kill a bunch of stuff and it'll eventually drop. So you kind of got to rely on RNG there. But then to actually upgrade that to a full masterwork, you have to get 1,000 precision kills with the Crimson. So it will require just a little bit of grinding, but in my opinion, I think that's a good thing. It gives us something to work for. So I mainly want to talk about PvP, but this is of course still really good in PvE as well, especially now that it has increased ammo reserves, so you don't really have to worry about running out of ammo as much. But being able to gain health back on a kill can definitely save you from time to time. For example, last week it helped me out in the heroic strikes since I was kind of underleveled, so it can definitely come in handy. It may not be the most optimal in all situations, but it's still good nonetheless. But then as for PvP, I absolutely love this thing now, and I wish all hand cannons perform like this, aside from the current ones that are pretty good, like I think it's the Dire Promise, and the Old Fashioned is really good, and the Better Devils is good. I just don't think it's as good as those. But right now, I think the Crimson stands above all the rest, at least the time I'm making this video. But I know a lot of people are currently using the Antiope and Graviton Lance combo, or maybe the Vigilance Wing, which, you know, I get. Those things are really good now, especially the new Graviton Lance. They both got some pretty big buffs recently, and they caused quite a stir in the Crucible. But don't sleep on the Crimson, because there were a few times where I actually outgunned players who were using the Graviton Lance and the Vigilance Wing with it. Although, that's not to say that this is better, because even though this thing has an insane amount of range, I still tend to get outgunned by the Graviton Lance at long range. But at close to medium range, if you're the better player and you can land your shots, or more of your shots than the other player, it can definitely give those other two a run for their money. Just try to make sure to stick to close or medium range. Currently, I really like using this on my Hunter, which it has a high mobility with low recovery. So being able to get my health back on a kill is a big help for me there. And also, just something to throw out there really quick. For my PvP setup for my Hunter, I have one kinetic counterbalance mod on the chest, and I didn't really notice a major difference with the recoil. Although, to be fair, I may have not been paying close enough attention for that, so I'm not too sure how helpful that will be if you're using maybe even double recoil mods. If you've actually tried that out, let me know if it's worth it or not. I just didn't feel like changing out the mods on my chest piece because it'd kind of be a waste. But yeah, anyways guys, definitely try this thing out for a bit and see what you think of it. I've been having a blast switching between this and the Graviton Lance right now, since they seem to be the most consistent for me. But if you've tried out the new Crimson, or also if you have the Masterwork version of it, let me know what you think about it. But anyways guys, that about wraps it up for this video. So as always, I would like to thank you all for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed. And if you did enjoy, if you could take a second to leave a thumbs up on the video, I'd really appreciate it. And also subscribe if you're new here. And until next time, I'll catch you all later.